Greetings, students. For chapter number 16, let's talk about images and the effect that they have in terms of your website projects. Images play a big role in terms of decoration or in terms of content, making that website pop and have some what I like to call wow factor. So no further ado, let's talk about different ways that we might experience images on our pages. Share my screen. Today, we'll talk about images in several ways. First, let's talk about images from a decorative standpoint. We'll talk about images that may be the main content of a page, images that we may want to align relative to content, or images that we might want to be consistent in displaying within a gallery. We have code ways of doing each one of these. A decorative image is a banner or background image, and it does not require an alternative text attribute related to it. So in our code, when we establish that we're going to have a banner, what we're saying is that class banner, apply this background image to the banner itself. I'm at this Openverse website, which says that they have many images that are public domain, free for use, free for remix, free for reuse on different media. You really want to go with a website content like that or produce your own content in this era of copyright and this era of being very, very careful. I love all things green tea. So I thought I'd find a couple images related to tea and use that for the purposes of our work. And so let's say, save this image as, save it here locally. When you save images, be sure that you are not putting spaces in the file name. That plays an important role. And remember that that image must live in our images folder on the server before we can use it for our purposes. So I'm going to do a drag and drop to the images folder just like that. The green teapot is visible there. And then I'll tell it in images, there is a green teapot.jpg. Go get it for that background image URL. Let's see if it's showing up in our preview. And what do you know? A decorative image of green tea has made its way to our particular page. And that's what we want. That's what we're looking for in terms of images. So this content here just been content on the page itself. What we're saying, there's the banner, of course, decorative image. These divs apply to our green tea. This image just lives on the page itself. And I'm just gonna make sure that there's alternative text that describes the image and that the image itself is sourced accordingly on our website, absolute or relative reference. So let's go find another wonderful picture of teapots. I like this little guy. Save him. I'll call him Green Teapot 2. Making sure also that he lives in the images folder. Then we put a source that points us directly to him. Let's see what happens in our preview. A bigger image, and it certainly can be modified in terms of size as well, but a content image nonetheless that is on our page, making it look good for our purposes. Remember that we can establish a width and a height attribute to resize images accordingly. We don't have to necessarily make them as large as we want it. And that one would do better to not be square. So we might just kind of let him be as he is. He might need more height than he does width. Let's see what happens. Yep, starting to look a little bit better. Got to get those proportions right to make the images look good. Okay. So that's content. It's going to be meaningful in a sense. What we've done with this image here is able to be aligned to the left relative to content using the miracle of computing, using cascading style sheets to help us do that. We call it the ClearFix class. This image shall float left. Once we place it in here, let's go see what we're doing also with ClearFix. Let's see, float left. We'll do this for us. Float left, 200 pixels, forming a right margin of 15 pixels and a border around that module, that particular margin. And the ClearFix is going to put content in a block, clearing both after. Having done that, through the section of ClearFix, through an image that is floating left by class, we are able to affect change. Let's go ahead and use another image from our website. That's a very loud teapot. That one has some classic, definitely a pot that's been used very, very often. This tells us a license about how we may use it. That's very, very important. Creative Commons. Again, making sure our image lives within the images folder. Now, we source it to say images, Green Teapot 3 in this instance. Let's preview it. Okay. And nicely framed, that picture is floating left within our content. Galleries are about consistency. You want the images to be generally the same size. Let's see if we're reinforcing that in the gallery. So we put a width attribute of 100%. I'm going to be very interested to see if we have to do anything manual with our code to make our images fit into the gallery. But what we're telling the gallery is, we still have our 3 images, so no need to reinvent the wheel. Let's go in from the images folder. We have our green teapot. And then we have our pot 2. And then we have our pot 3. Let us see if we affect change or they're all the same size. Aha. The beauty of a gallery is being able to do that. Make all the images, even though they all came with different sizes and different purposes, serve. And you can see just a few images makes things look really, really good. We have a decorative background image. We have a larger image, an image that is aligned to the left, and images that are part of a gallery as a whole, bringing about consistent design. One bonus, since you continue to watch this video through, every once in a while you might want to make a link of an image, href equals, If I want to link out to my TysonMcMillan.com, when they click that image, target_blank will open it in a new window. And then we close. Making the image the target of the attribute. So what I've done here is if I mouse over that first link, it'll open up my TysonMcMillan.com in a nice new page of its own. The miracle and beauty of computing is us affecting change, being able to link to content, being able to link to other websites itself. Opening in a new tab for our purposes. And there we are. So you've seen us work and affect change on a website by adding images in 3 different ways. Take chances, make mistakes, get messy, have fun doing this. And I'd love to see you applying this in your projects in this course. Thank you for your kind time and attention. We'll pick up things on the next video. Dr. T, signing out.